Okay, so we got another Dream Hangars video here. I'm going to be using this hangar from Nathan. And yeah, let's just put it together real quick. First up is Bastion Graviton Beam, which is very interesting. Not exactly a fantastic Bastion build, to be honest. So for Bastion, I'd say EMP range, cooldown, and I can choose between mag size and range. Neither one's like particularly great. I'll go with range just in case I want to shoot people from a little bit further away. And because the mag size implant, like, it doesn't really increase it by that much. So I don't think it would really be necessary. Next up is Minigun Eclipse, pretty classic one. All minigun implants plus duration, that is what it defaulted to, and that is what I would recommend using. If you don't have all of the minigun implants, or if you don't want to use all of the minigun implants for whatever reason, what I would get rid of is a reload. And that might sound weird, but the damage obviously increases your damage output, and you kind of need that in order to kill things as quickly as possible. The spread, though, also increases your damage output by making sure that your bullets are more accurate and you hit more shots at longer range. In fact, if you watch this video in the card in the top right, I basically discovered and explained why the recoil implant is more important than the damage implant in terms of damage output. So do not get rid of either of these, especially not this one. Next is Surge with Revoker and Ember Gun. I assume that means one Revoker and one Ember Gun. If you're gonna run a hybrid like that, you absolutely want to do the Revoker 16 and the Ember 8. You don't want to do a Revoker 12 and Ember 12. It's not going to do nearly as well. The reason that this build specifically works relatively well is because Ember Gun applies the weakened status effect, which increases the damage that the enemy takes by 50%. So when you look at the Revoker that's here, the 16, if you add 50%, then that's 24, right? 16 plus 8. So it's essentially the same as using a 16 plus 8 Revoker on one side, but then you also get the damage from the Ember Gun itself. So this is actually like higher raw DPS than double Revoker, but it's not going to deal with mod shields as well. Once again, if you want to know exactly how this hybrid compares to regular Revokers, double Revoker 12 or Revoker 16 and 8, then you can watch this video in the card top right. But yeah, suffice it to say, if you were to use double 12, then it would increase the damage of your Ember 12 by a bit more, but your Revoker 12 would be basically a 12 and 6, so it'd only be like an 18. And Revoker is your carry weapon, obviously. The Ember Gun's not nearly as good. So here, you want Revoker damage, obviously. This is the thing that you're stacking for the most part. I would not even bother with any Ember Gun implants. Maybe Ember Gun range if you really want it, but I always recommend people go for cooldown and duration on Surge. Cooldown's just pretty obvious. Surge has really short cooldown in general. But then duration is because if you're like Surge versus Surge, whoever has the longer duration wins because they're gonna be EMPing the other guy for longer. Next is Railgun Orion, which is not too bad. So in terms of implants, I would go with damage and reload for Railgun, cooldown and shield pierce for Orion. The cooldown, you know, maybe you have it, maybe you don't. Most mechs do better with a cooldown implant. The Orion shield pierce, this is pretty easy to get. You can get it for 600 acorns in the implant shop, which apparently a lot of people don't actually know where to get implants for acorns. You just go to Gear Hub and then Pilot Market. Put implants, and this is the implant market essentially. So here's all the implants. A lot of them are for real money, but this is recommended for mechs in squad, recommended for weapons in squad. This is just for all mechs. it's going to show a lot of them that you can't get, but then you scroll toward the bottom, and at the bottom there's going to be all of these that only cost 8 coins and credits. By the way, if you want implant parts, the best way to do it is by buying a bunch of these legendary implants for credits and then scrapping them. It's pretty good value. And then, yeah, same with Epic, same with Rare. You can get basically any implant here. And the last one is Aegis with Storm Rack. Alright, so for this, I would not recommend ability duration, because if your dome goes down early, then that means you're waiting for longer before your ability comes back. I would not go with Dome Shield Radius, because not only is it kind of pointless, like it takes up an implant slot, Storm Rack Reload is a must. This is the most important Storm Rack implant. All of the other ones you can leave if you don't, it doesn't matter. Even better than damage or anything. Damage is the second best one, just because obviously it's damage. The third best one, I would probably say, is the shield damage, just to be able to take out mods easier. You could go with Radius, but Radius is really not that important. Especially for myself, I play on PC, so obviously it's a little bit easier to aim, and I use the minimal aiming. So I don't really need a larger radius. It's easy enough for me to hit people with the radius. So yeah, but a lot of people, for whatever reason, say that the Storm Rack Radius implant is super, super valuable. It's not. Don't. Actually, you could just not get it and you'd be fine. Alright, so yeah, changed up a couple of the skins, but essentially, everything has perimeter multilayer except for Orion. You could probably put perimeter multilayer on here and it might do better, honestly. The only reason it has blockade is because, like, theoretically, it could be better to put blockade on mechs that really like to keep their distance, but even then, like, you got what? A small amount more HP per layer, and at max 1 extra layer. It's really not going to actually be stronger, but you are susceptible to, like, radius and stuff. So ultimately, I'd probably put perimeter multilayer on this as well. But yeah, like, as always, prioritize perimeter multilayer. None of the other mods are worth getting until this is maxed out. Like, the cost per level and the benefit per level, you're always going to get a higher percentage benefit from every single level of perimeter multilayer than any of these other mod types. Like, for example, getting perimeter multilayer from level 5 to level 6 in this case would get me about 75,000 HP for 815 elite mod parts. Now, a hardened hull, let's assume I didn't have one. If you wanted to get a hardened hull, it would cost you 840 elite mod parts to get to level 4, which only gets you 62,000 HP. So not only do you get less HP, just raw HP, you get less raw HP from the benefit, it costs you more, and you don't get the benefit of the extra layer, which is every layer is a guaranteed protection from at least one shot, so layers are always better than raw HP. So yeah, just as an example, perimeter multilayer, every level of perimeter multilayer is more important than any of these other things, so don't get them unless this is maxed out. No, I don't have all of my perimeter multilayers maxed out. I didn't actually, like, do the math on that immediately, and I bought a couple other mods, but in general, after getting perimeter multilayer, you should get hardened hull, in my opinion, and then epic galvanic hull, and then if you really want, epic canopy. The reason I say epic for these is because I don't think the legendaries really do much good. Like, you're probably going to die before a legendary galvanic hull is completely gone. An epic is kind of all you need, I think. Now, you're going to want to max it out to get the 24% benefit, but it's going to cost mostly basic mod parts, so at least you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, let's get into a match and just kind of see how this goes. Blast you dead. Okay. Alright, I'm going to start with probably Orion. Now, in the last Dream Hangars video, I explained that it's a good idea to have a starter mech. Oh, hello. Is it 2v2? Oh, it is. There's Blue Devil. Wasn't even paying attention. Hi there. Vibe check. Vibe check failed. Okay. Oh, bye-bye. But yeah, it's a good idea to have a starter mech. A mech that you generally start with. Maybe not always, but generally. You don't want that mech to be Surge, and you don't want that mech to be Eclipse, because both of those are very good mechs to use as counters to things. So if you lose your primary counter to a specific type of thing, right off the bat, like let's say you get unlucky, go in for beacons, and you just happen to die really quickly, which can easily happen. Your starting mech is at the most risk, which is why I started with Orion, because it is a backline thing. I don't have to put myself at risk. I can do a lot of damage from range, and this is a ranged map, so it shouldn't be an issue. Oh, that was bad. Hi there. Oh, he also has railgun. Look at that. Except he doesn't have it on Orion, which is not good. The only time you should be using snipers is on Orion, honestly. Well, unless you're using Tetra Rifle, then you can put that on several things. Tetra Rifle Eclipse is pretty good. Oh, let's go. I got super lucky. Thank you. My teammate actually removed all of his layers. That's good. Pew pew. Okay, fair enough. I did die, but so did he. He lost a... Oh, okay, there's that. I'm gonna spawn this to counter. Oh, well, never mind. Ah. What is this? Oh, you're an absolute gamer. Alright, my shield's gone, but that's fine. They do have beacon advantage. I got you, pal. I'll bet you he's doing achievements. They do have beacon advantage, so I don't want to be too passive. That guy is dead, potentially? Nah, he is now, though. Oh, well. Alright, so looks like all the bots are dead now. And it's just us left. Hi there. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I couldn't get inside the dome because this guy was... He's a freaking gamer. He was keeping me back. But I was trying to get inside the dome so that he dashed and the EMP happened outside. And I could still move and do stuff. Nope. He has fragment guns, dude. He has fragment guns. I couldn't tell you why, but he does. This should be a pretty easy counter to it, though. Bye-bye. I don't know if that guy needs kills or assists. I forget. I think it's assists. I wonder what this guy has left. Oh, Helix track. Yeah. I mean, there's kind of nothing you can do now. Cool. Alright, so I didn't use the Surge or the Bastion, so let's run another match and try to use those. Okay, Kupal 11. Very cool. I don't want to use my Surge first, to be honest, but I will. Between Surge and Eclipse, I would say Eclipse counters more things. I mean, Eclipse basically counters everything to some degree, just not as hard as Surge does. So between the two, I'm more comfortable starting with Surge. Uh-oh. Okay. I don't really have to be too careful with my ability, to be honest, because, I mean, the cooldown's just so freaking short. It kind of doesn't matter. There's a Surge back there, a repeater Surge, I think. I will leave. That wasn't good. Yeah. No, I shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna just go with the Bastion here. The Bastion does kind of counter Surge. Hello. Yeah, there is a cooldown modifier. Hello. See, oh, he didn't do himself any favors because he hesitated and then he broke my shield. He should have just broken my shield immediately. Because fun fact, Surge's duration is longer than Bastion's. So if you are a Surge, Bastion counters Surge mostly because most Surge players don't know what to do against a Bastion. The trick is just take the EMP, just take it because yours is longer. Alright, I mean, I guess I'm just going over here. Hi. Oh, that's unfortunate. This guy's got... Okay, everything's fine. Thankfully, he had Howler, which is only going to break a couple of my layers. My shield is gone, but I still have full HP. I'm gonna... Oh, there's a Bastion, too. Stop that. Freaking Hellfire Bastion, bro. That's crazy. Oh, okay. That bot got me. Teammate died around this side, so let's go over here, see what's up. It's a hemlock. No, stop. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I died. Quad rocket, bro. If you can grab that, I'm just gonna... Yeah, never mind. Probably should have gone with the clips between the two, because it has better range, better speed, and is less likely to die to things. I'm just gonna tank that, because I want to save my dome for when I'm actually on the beacon. I have 10 seconds of dome duration, and it's going to take me 10 seconds to... It's going to take me 10 seconds to neutralize and capture a beacon, as long as I'm not interrupted, but I was interrupted. I'm surprised I'm alive, actually. It's 30 seconds, we need to kill these guys. Actually, he just died. He died again to the same bot, bro. That is wild. Okay. Very cool. That Onyx bot got me like 3 times, bro. Okay, so that's everything. Let's start with the Bastion. So, Graviton Bastion, it's got decent range. The Graviton Beam's got decent range, but Graviton Beam is really bad against basically everything. And Bastion is also not very good, because like I said, it's pretty easily countered by a Surge who knows what it's doing, which most Surges don't, granted, but almost everybody has an Eclipse. So, yeah, it's countered very easily by Eclipse. And it's slow, the ability damage isn't super high, the ability cooldown is much higher than most other mechs, and so Bastion just overall is not a great choice, I would say. Now, I did mention the fact that Surge's EMP is longer than Bastion's. You might notice I don't have ability duration on here, though. The reason is because ability duration doesn't actually work on Bastion. You could see this recommended for mech. All of the implant options that are recommended for my Bastion, duration is not one of them, because duration doesn't work on Bastion, which is really sad. I wish it did. If I were to use Bastion in any capacity, what I would probably do is use something like Pod Gun. It is a mid-range weapon that does not require exposure, and that's good. That's good for Bastion. It is also like a pseudo-brawler, so you can deal good damage with it at any range, really. Like, it's got good damage output, just not the best, right? But also, one thing that a lot of Podgun builds lack is the ability to, like, actually protect themselves if someone gets close. Bastion can do that with the shield. If someone gets close, specifically if someone gets close, then it is able to, you know, activate the shield. When the shield goes down, it EMPs everybody around it. So especially like a Surge rush, it's gonna make it a lot harder for a Surge to rush you using this build. So this is probably one build that I would consider for Bastion. Just keep in mind that, you know, you now have 2 passive builds, like very passive builds, Podgun and Railgun. Not necessarily a good idea to go for a third. So yeah, try to keep in mind that brawler builds are always going to do better. So you're gonna want like at least 3. In terms of Eclipse, I mean, this is what I recommend using competitively, honestly, especially for CPC. If you're playing like free-for-all or 2v2, then probably go with Revoker. But for CPC and probably even 5v5, I'd say minigun's better. For the Surge, I mean, there's not a huge difference between this hybrid build and the double Revoker build. Yeah, like it's kind of not much to be said. I'll just leave it just because, like, whatever. In terms of the Orion, this is one of the better builds for Orion, I will say. Now Orion could also do really well with Podgun also, but if you're dead set on using Bastion, then I probably would put Podgun on it. Now alternatively, you could put like Revoker on Eclipse, Minigun on Aegis, and the Storm Rack on Bastion, or even the Minigun on Bastion, keep the Storm Rack on Aegis, one of the two, and then put the Podgun on Orion, or you could put the Storm Rack on Orion. Storm Rack Orion's very strong. But Railgun Orion, I think, is one of the better choices, because Orion's very squishy, and it's one of the only things that's capable of utilizing long-range weapons like this effectively. So it can really catch people off guard. A lot of people don't have counters for long-range stuff anymore. And then the Aegis with Storm Rack, I mean, solid. If you're going to run an Aegis, Storm Rack is the best weapon to put on it. And this is the best build that you could have. And I mean, you could swap the shield damage with Storm Rack Radius if you wanted to, but it's kind of the same. So yeah, all in all, I would say this is a pretty solid hangar. Only thing I really changed is the weapon on Bastion. Graviton Beam is very bad, especially these days. If you really want to use Graviton Beam, I would put it on Eclipse. It's kind of the only mech that can pull it off these days. But yeah, let's get into one last battle. Run it, just kind of see how it goes. So let's go. New map, 2v2. Megatron, dude in top 500. Let's start with the Bastion, why not? I'm gonna go left, which is probably not the best idea. And the reason it's not the best idea is because he's gonna have that beacon, and he has range on me. It's a lot of range on me. Well, he doesn't have range no, I have range on him. I don't know what I'm saying. No, but what he has is just generally a good position. Hey, stop that! Ah, okay. Yeah, on that beacon they have the height advantage, so that's not ideal. Well, I'll go for it now. That's a surge. I was gonna say there's a stealth something over there. Why would you do that? You know full well I'm a surge and can dash at you. That was weird, bro. My man was fully aware, like... Alright. I mean, I suppose surge with cooldown modifier, it's like, what are you gonna do? His shield went down. Oh, really? No. Okay, his shield's gonna come back. I got stuck on the... Uh-oh. What is that? Eclipse. That's what it is. I'm just gonna run from that Eclipse. Yeah, nah. I knew he was gonna kill me. There's no chance. I'm sure. Pew. Poor guy. That man he's just been kind of in some really unlucky spots, I'm not gonna lie. Pew, pew. Bye-bye. Oh, you got 90 meters range. Okay. Hold on, let me just try to... Bye-bye. Oof. Yeah, that's another reason you don't want to use Blockade. Because Revoker, when it pulls back, is just gonna smack you right through the shield. There's two of them? I don't know where... Okay. Pew, 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 pew. Wait, really? Did I not mark him? Oh, I think he avoided the mark by teleporting. Bro, it's about to teleport back. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye. And they're losing their last beacon. He's gonna spawn here somewhere. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Oh, wow, he got 7 beacons. That is wild. Alright, so yeah. I would say this is an improvement It's not obviously a meta hangar still. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. If you wanted the best hangar possible, you would not use Aegis or Bastion or probably Orion either. But yeah, I think pretty much everybody knows what the best hangars look like. Anyway, yeah. Hopefully I was able to help some. If anyone watching wants their dream hangar to be used in future videos, then just leave a comment. Similar to how this guy did, with the keyword dream hangar, followed by a list of 5 mechs and weapons. I don't want extra details, just give me the mech and the weapon, and then I'll fill in the blanks. Now, if you want, you can also let me know whether or not you are free to play. That would help me decide like which mechs and weapons I would recommend going for. But otherwise, yeah, that is going to be it for me. Appreciate y'all. Take care.